The other thing I wanted to talk with you about is the loathsome ISDS process. We are not putting ISDS provisions into any new treaties, but they exist as hangovers from past treaties. I'm told that it's actually possible to remove ISDS from existing free trade and bilateral investment agreements, and that you are looking at the best way to go about doing that. Can you give me a progress report on that? But let me just elaborate for a moment that I really think that there's something very evil about the entire ISDS mechanism. And it's perhaps best embodied by the attack through the ISDS mechanism of the tobacco industry on the little country of Togo. Togo had the nerve to try to control the packaging of cigarettes with warnings about tobacco's known health effects, and they were sued by the world tobacco industry, which has enormous resources at its disposal. Togo is a country of about 8 million people. It has less than 5,000 miles of roads. Its annual budget is about 1.2 billion. It is in no position to take on an international industry like that can use it to, first of all, bully Togo into submission, and then take that and leverage against other countries. In fact, the tobacco industry even ultimately went up against Australia and got themselves tangled up in the complexity of their effort, but that shows how evil this is. So the quicker we can get rid of that as a vehicle for putting private interest over public interest and putting size and weight over virtue, the better off we will be. And I'd ask for your thoughts on how we can remove ISDS from those existing agreements and treaties.
Well, I think we have a number of tools with respect to ISDS that, whether they're in bilateral investment treaties or they have standalone or they're incorporated into FTAs. We're looking at this question actively right now with respect to existing ISDS provisions.
So you have no report on
how they can be improved, but again, this is one of those things where we're very, very interested in the views of members of Congress, especially those who sit on the Judiciary Committee and are leading lawyers. Indeed.
The U.S. was responsible for pushing a lot of this ISDS nonsense into those treaties in the first place, correct?
I think that's absolutely correct.
Yeah, okay. Well, Godspeed. Stay in touch with us on the conclusions that you draw. I would add to my existing QFR request for any further information you have on this that would belabor the time of the committee, but might be useful to me and my team as we look to try to rid our trade agreements of this really noxious agreement. Thank you very much, and thank you, Chairman.